Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm here with this bracelet, which I call the Scarab bracelet. It's made in a similar fashion to my God's Eye bracelet. I just made a tutorial for. But yeah, it's using a different technique where you weave the two halves together in the center after you complete each one. But yeah, it's a pretty easy concept to understand, I think, although you do want to pay close attention when I do it. It's pretty important. But anyways, let's get started. So you're going to need a background color, which I used white for, and then 3 colors for your little center design. And you're going to need 8 C-clips, not 8 C-clips, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 C-clips to actually finish the bracelet, but you're going to need around 8 to work with each little shape that you make. So yeah, let's get started. Now I'm going to start off by doing a normal type of fishtail beginning that you start doing for a lot of fishtail based bracelets. So I'm just going to twist a band into a figure 8 shape to make a cap band, and then pull a band through that. And then make sure the cap band's on the hook as well as the other band that you just pulled through, so you have 4 loops on your hook. And then you're going to pull 3 bands through one side and 3 through the other. So the first one, you pull through the first 2 bands, pick up the outer one and drop off the other. Again, pull a band through the first 2 bands, pick up the outer band as well as the other half that you pulled through, and then do this one more time. Now you can flip this around. Make sure that your cap band is never the first band or the closest to your hook. And then you start the other side. So you're going to do the same exact thing, looping on 3 white bands. Like that. And you should have something that looks like this. 2 bands on the outside of each end and 6 in the middle total. Now you're going to cross the right band, the very middle right band, over the very middle left band. Now it looks like this. Now you're going to start looping on your colors. So in this little segment that I did here, I started with pink, then went to orange, and then yellow. So again, my first band color will be pink. I'm going to pinch these first 2 whites and hold on to them and pull them off the hook. Put my pink on the hook. Pull it through these 3 white bands here on the left side, making sure there's a total of 5 white bands on the right side that you're not working with. And make sure that your bands stay crossed in the middle. Then you pick up these 2 white bands here on the outside and leave the crossed band in the middle be. And put the pink and the 2 whites back on. And then you're going to add your next color, which is orange. So for this you're going to pinch the first 3 bands, the 2 whites and the pink. Pull the orange through these 2 whites here. And only pick up the outer white and put everything else back on. And it may be kind of crammed or weird looking right now or hard to work with. That's totally normal. It's supposed to look a bit messy right now. And then your last color, I'm going to pinch these first 4 bands, pull this final color through this remaining white, and then put everything else back on. And then to finish this up, you're going to loop 3 whites through. You're going to pull this first white through the first 2 white bands, and then the first 3 colors. Only pick up the orange and the yellow and the outer white. Pull another band through, first 4 bands. Only pick up the yellow and the outer white. then pull one final band through the first 3 bands, and only pick up the outer white. And now, what you're going to do is you're just going to pull a white through first 5 bands, all white bands. Then you're going to take one of your clips and clip the white that you just pulled through. Then you're going to flip this around, making sure nothing comes unraveled or undone. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, starting with pink, pulling it through these 3 whites, picking up these outer 2, putting everything else back on, picking up the first 3, pulling an orange through these 2, picking up the outer 1, putting everything back on, and then pinch the first 4, pull this yellow through this white, and then put everything back on. Then you're going to pull 3 whites through, pull the first one through these first 5, pick up the orange, the yellow, and the outer white, pull a white through these first 4, pick up the yellow and the outer white, and then pull this white through the first 3 and pick up the outer white. And then you pull a white band through these 5 whites and take a clip and clip this white band. And now one final thing you do to finish up your bracelet. You're going to pull a white through these first 3 here, pinch them off, and then pull another white through these 3 back here. And then whatever band is crossed over here, you've done a little bit of flipping, so it might be the left, it might be the right. Most likely it'll be the left like I have here. So what you're going to do is out of these 4 bands, you're going to take the central left band, pull it over the right. That way the left band is pulled over on both ends. And again, if your right's crossed over on the bottom here, you cross the right over. And then you're going to finish up this half by clipping first 2 bands here. And since they're crossed over, these aren't 2 halves of the same band, they're 1 half of 2 different bands. Then you use the other clip to clip these other bands here. Now you have your first half of one of your circles. Now I'm going to do the other half off camera, but there is a slight difference near the end, so I'll come back to show you that. Alright, so I'm back. I've made my 2 halves. And the difference in this other one that I just finished, this one right here, is that in the middle, in the last one I crossed them, but in this one, don't cross them. That's pretty much it. Not very hard at all. Okay, so now you're going to actually start the weaving process of weaving these together. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the crossed one on the left and this one on the right. And make sure you can see this one is pointing downward. The one that's pointing downward is over. And this one is the same. You're going to want to make sure one is pointing downward and the other one is pointing upward. It doesn't matter which one as long as they're different. I just do this because I'm a perfectionist. And so, to weave these together, you're going to start by placing your hook down into these 3 colored bands here, ignoring the fact that they're clipped. And then you're going to take this right white here on the other half, unclip it, pull it through these 3 bands here without twisting it, and then reclip that. And then after you do this, you unclip that white that's just dangling off and pull it out. And then the other side you do the same way. Just flip it around, making sure that the cross bands are on the left still, and this is on the right. Put your hook through these 3 bands like you did before. And then you unclip the right white here in this pair. Pull it through without twisting it, and then clip it back on. And again, you should have this weird white just hanging here. You can unclip that and pull the white out. And now we're going to move on to the ends. So what you're going to do, put your hook through these 5 whites here that are all being held together with this band and clip. Then you're going to take the 2 whites in the middle, put your hook through both of those, and then you're going to take the right half of this white band here that has a clip on it, unclip it, and then pull it through these middle 2 whites, as well as these 5 whites on the right. Make sure you didn't twist it along the way, and then put it back on the clip. And after you do this, you should have this clip here in the middle on these 2 bands. It's just hanging around here. Just unclip it and put it away. And then on one side you should have this weird clip and white band dangling off. Again, unclip it and pull the white out. Now you're going to flip this around and do the other side. So again, you're going to put your hook through these 5 whites here on the right. And be sure you don't get any of these white bands, the white band that's holding these 5 together. Make sure you don't get any piece of it on your hook. And you put your hook through these middle 2 whites here. Make sure the whites aren't twisted weirdly in the middle and that they're only crossing. And then again, you're going to unclip the right half of this white. Pull it through the middle 2 whites, and these 5 whites over here, making sure you didn't twist it, and then put this white back on your clip. And again, unclip this dangling white and pull it out, and then unclip this clip in the middle. And there you go, you have one of your circles. Now for your wrist, you might need a different amount than me, but I use about 4 of these little circles for a whole bracelet. Again, you might need to make more, might need to make less. Probably more though, if your wrist is larger than mine, because mine's really tiny. So, I made the other 3 off camera to save time, and now I'm going to show you how to clip them together. So, you aren't going to need your hook to help you do this until the end, so you don't need it right now if you don't want to, but it might be nice to have it help you out. So you're going to hold one of your little things with the C-clips on the sides, and then hold another one next to it. And then you're going to make sure that the same band is crossed over here, so the left is crossed over, and same thing over here. I like to have them match because I think it looks nicer overall. Then you're going to point the right C-clip downward, stretch out the band that the clip is clipping on the other circle, and clip the bands. Make sure you get both of them. And then you can unclip the clip that's dangling off. And there you go. And now to make this look a little nicer, what I like to do is I like to cap 2 cap bands over this clip to hide it a little bit better. So I'm just going to pull a band over one of these circles. Make sure it doesn't get caught in this clip right here. I'm just going to pull it all the way down to where the C-clip is. You're going to pull the band taut on the side that doesn't have a gap in the middle. This is the side that does. You're going to pull it taut on the other side. You're going to twist it and then pull it over that circle again. And now what just happened is that both halves of that band got caught in the clip. So if that happens, just unclip them. And there you go. You're going to repeat this one more time, pulling another band over. And again, pulling the band taut on the side that doesn't have the gap between the plastic, twisting it, and then pulling it over the circle. And again, it got caught in the clip, just one piece this time, but you can just unclip that if that happens. And there you go, your C-clip is pretty much almost all hidden right now. Now you're going to add another circle. So again, make sure the same parts are crossing over. Have to flip it around this time. And then make sure your clip is facing the same way as last time. Mine was pointing downward last time, so I'm going to make that the same again. And then you're going to find this band the other clip is clipping on the other circle. And just clip that clip to this band. And then unclip the clip that's dangling off. Now you go about hiding that clip. So you're going to have 2 circles on one side and one on the other. So obviously, to make this easier, you're going to pull your white bands over this one circle instead of both, because both is inconvenient and kind of pointless when you can just pull it over the one. Again, pull the band taut on the side without the gap, twist it, and pull it over the circle again. Make sure none of the bands are caught in the clip, which they aren't this time, and then repeat this again. Got lucky this time, there are no bands clipped in the clip. And now I only have one more circle to add. Bands are facing the same way. Make sure my clip is pointing downward just like the other ones. Then clip this band here. Do the same stuff that I've been showing, basically. Gotta get this other half of the band right here. Yeah. There we go. Unclip the extra clip. And then you can pull your cap bands over. So start with one. And pull it taut on the side with no gap. And pull it back over. And this is what I said about getting it caught in the clip. Don't get it caught in the above clip. And I accidentally clipped it this time, so I'm just gonna unclip those halves. Got both of them this time by accident. There we go. I'm gonna pull the other band over. And this time, there aren't any bands caught in the clip. Alright, now that I've added all 4 circles, You can repeat the same steps that I've been showing to add on another or more than that if your wrist is longer, or if you want to even make a belt out of this or a headband. Just thought of that. But anyways, to actually clip the other ends together to finish up your bracelet and make it wearable, what you'll do is you're going to find the two ends. Make sure, again, C-clips will face the same way. This one pointing downward. But this time, since you can't string on the cap bands in the normal way that you would, what you're actually going to do is you're going to put your hook through one of your pairs of white bands, and then pull two white cap bands over this way. Actually, before you do that, you're going to cap the two bands on your hook, and then put these two halves of bands on your hook after that. And you pull them over this way. Be sure to pull them over the C-clip as well. And then when you grab this clip, be sure to stretch it and make sure that these cap bands stay behind everything and don't fall off. Then what you're going to do, double checking my clips, okay. Then you're going to clip the other end as normal. Unclip the extra C-clip. And there's your bracelet. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye!